There are tons of business podcasts to choose from, but only one has the stamp of approval. Kristin Stampini is South Florida's leading real estate entrepreneur and your trusted source for everything real estate.
I would like to welcome our listeners and thank you for joining us today for an episode of our podcast, The Stamp of Approval. I'm Kristin Stampini, co-founder of the Stampini team with RE/MAX located in Florida. I'm also a certified real estate coach with Craig Proctor Systems and the owner of Global Virtual Assistants, where we help small business owners hire, train, and staff for very affordable prices administrative assistance virtually. So the Stamp of Approval podcast was launched to share and educate other realtors, consumers, and other business owners across North America by sharing value, content to our listeners in each and every episode. I share my experiences, triumphs, and failures, and strength throughout my entire life with the hope of my audience being able to expand their knowledge on everything real estate, business, sales, and mindset oriented. I also recently launched YouTube channel called Stamp TV, Kristin Stampini. So I share weekly real estate tips and I really focus on your move up sellers. So join me there as well. Well, today I have my dear friend, Michael Glickman, and welcome back, Michael.
Well, thank you, Kristin. A pleasure to be back.
Yeah. So Mike is a realtor for also RE/MAX Services in Boca Raton, Florida. We're actually in the same office. We collaborate, right? Instead of compete. So starting in 1980, Mike worked side by side in his family's business franchise. You know, after the last of his three children left for school, he planned his exit strategy from the family franchise, and he got his real estate license thinking he was going to be able to relax. At the age of 56, Mike was the real estate rookie of the year, became a certified instructor for one of Keller Williams training programs, was on the Agent Leadership Council for Keller Williams for 3 years, and spearheaded a mentor program. So today, Mike and I are going to be discussing his Facebook. It's called My Town with Mike, and he does videos in the town on Facebook. So welcome, Mike.
Well, thank you for having me back, Kristin.
Yeah. So everybody loves watching you. You're so inspirational. You have such a big heart and everything else. And watching your Sunrise with Mike. So everybody, if you haven't, go watch Sunrise with Mike. Okay. And just let him know, hey, you saw us on the podcast and now you're following him. Right. And he also does, and it's called My Town with Mike. So let's get into talking about how did that come about?
It was an interesting birth to that idea. It came from a conversation about branding, and it was more ... with Mike. So all the different things you can do, and the first dots turned out to be Sunrise. So I was trying to think of all the things that were going on. And listen, you know, we live. I lived in Boca Raton for 35 years. I've lived in Delray for the last 3. These are destination spots where people around the world come to vacation, and we're so fortunate enough to live here. I'm really so grateful, and I appreciate every day getting up and saying, looking out the window, this is where I live? Oh my God! So I really like that. And I started, some things were going on, and one of the spin-offs to Sunrise with Mike was My Town with Mike. And it came from what was going on in town. I think the very first one that I did was interviewing Aaron, one of the owners at Cafe Luna Rosa.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Great place.
It's ranked number 1 out of the 238 restaurants in Delray.
Wow.
They've been around since 1993. Wow, I remember some of this. Hold on. But I film the sunrise show across the street from there. The pavilion, South Beach Pavilion is there, and I go on the other side out on the shore for the show. And when I come back, I go in, I say hello to everybody. I feel like Norm in Cheers. When you come in, everybody knows you. But I did an interview. I did the interview. It started off with Steve and Aaron, and we went around and they were giving me the history. And one thing led to another, and all of a sudden, I'm thinking within the first month, maybe they had 30, 40 people that had come down to have breakfast or brunch or a dinner there. Yeah. And it was a nice start. I said, I bet we may be onto something. A dear friend of mine that
hold on. So you just did that one episode or that one video.
That one video.
Okay, that turned in. That was a friend or whatever, and because you had gone there with Sunrise. First of all, how long have you been doing these? My Town, I have been doing probably for a little over a year. Okay, so Sunrise started
actually
first.
A little bit more than that, and Sunrise was first,
and that's every single day, and this one is. It just depends, right?
This one has, we never know where My Town with Mike's going to pop up next.
How often do you usually do it, you think?
If something's going on, I do it. I really don't have a schedule. We had, I don't know if you're familiar, they've got a big event in Delray called Savor the Ave. Yeah. About 30 restaurants. They close off Atlantic Ave from Swinton to Federal Highway. They set up tables in the middle of the street, and all the restaurants set up a little thing. They've got support. It's a fundraiser, and I did one for that. They have the big wine festival that I did as well. So I look at what's going on in town.
So you think over the last year, how many?
I've probably done, I'm going to say maybe 10.
Okay. So about once a month.
About once a month. The interesting one,
you did the boat parade.
I did the boat parade from Boca.
That was nice. I love that.
And I was actually at a networking event.
Yeah.
Down there, and I looked at my watch, and the parade's starting. So I left and I went down and we watched the neighborhood parade.
Didn't you do something like Dancing with the Stars?
Well, I was going to say, my dear friend Paul started Dance Sport in New York. And all of these stars from Dancing with the Stars used to go to his studio when their stars that they were dancing with were on Broadway or whatever. They would practice in his studio. 3 of them had branched off to open up the Dance With Me studio at Town Center. And Paul called and said, go down and say hi to Anthony, the manager, and get in for their preview party. And I went in. I saw him that day. I said, can I come? And joking around. I went down. I was not dressed for anything special, but he sent me a text. Yeah, you're on the list. Come down. But could you dress up a little bit? And I laughed. I said, Anthony, I know how to clean up.
What do you think? Did he think you were like the homeless person?
Yeah, exactly. From my Sunrise with Mike show. Yeah. So I went down and I just thought, hey, it's My Town with Mike. We've got this. We've got that. And it was a lot of fun. We talked about things. A friend of mine, Trish McGibbon with Fire and Ice Productions. I haven't for a while. I used to do karaoke religiously with some friends at Muddy Waters on Thursday nights down in Deerfield Beach. And Trish was the DJ.
So you don't just do Delray, then you do like Delray,
I'll do
Boca.
Delray, but I've done Delray and Boca. I have not gone out of that area. Yeah. Because that is where I focus. I mean, listen, I do business from West Palm Beach to Fort Lauderdale, but if it's too far in an area I don't know, I don't do it. Right. And we talked about that before. Yeah. I'm happy to share and pass on to the true expert in the area. Right. And I'll learn from that and then maybe take the next person. But I'm never going to learn at the expense of one of my clients.
Yes.
So, but what's interesting is how many people have contacted me to say, I can't wait to find out where you pop up next.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I just named a couple of them that I remember, and I don't sit there and just like look for you on My Town with Mike. Mm-hmm. So I think it's pretty cool how you just, and the thing is so if you are, first of all, if you're local, it's awesome. But also, if you're looking to, to buy a place here and see the different things that you're doing. So are you repurposing that video at all?
I'm just starting to learn about that. So there, with the repurposing, there are particulars that I'm not putting in the video so I can use it. I realize that the way I've done some of them, they're specific to a person, a time, a place, a date, and that's not exactly wonderful for repurposing. So I'm learning a couple of things. A very interesting one, because a lot of people go, wow, I didn't even know this existed. Have you ever heard of beach tennis?
No.
Me either. So I'm at a networking event and I meet these two people and they're telling me all about beach tennis. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
They've been doing world championships, international world championships since like 2013.
Wow.
And Michelle Boss is somebody that I met at this networking event. She goes, come on down. And I see they're setting up these 4 courts. They bring it's free. They do it in Delray on Sundays now. They do it in West Palm Beach on Saturdays, and it's free. They set up the courts. They've got the board, the paddles, the balls, sand socks if you need. I mean, everything. And I did this interview. We had people from around the world watching that and got great exposure.
So when you created My Town with Mike, again, it wasn't for a real estate business.
No, it was just to let people know what's going on. I came out one day with a yellow workman's helmet and a vest because there was so much construction going on in town. I said, hey, guys, you wondering what's going on here? Here, we got this is 35 luxury apartments over here. Marriott's putting up another hotel near on Federal Highway. And, this is where we've got this going and letting people know the growth of the city.
So what's going on in the city? That's pretty cool. So what are you... now you're having people follow you. Are you getting from that one? Are the same people following you, first of all, with Sunrise with Mike to My Town? And are you getting different people on My Town than you are with Sunrise?
That's a great question. The answer is yes.
Yes, what?
I'm going to leave that up to your listeners. What's happened is it started off with the same people. Oh, what's he up to now?
Yeah.
The natural curiosity. Yeah. But what's interesting, some of the people that they sent it over, hey, you know what? I got a friend who's been talking about moving to Delray. You should watch some of Michael's videos so you get an idea. Maybe you don't need to go down there to see what restaurants are around. You don't need to go down there to find out what they're building, this multi-purpose center that they're doing on the corner of Atlantic, northeast corner of Atlantic and Federal Highway with the condos, the stores, the offices, or anything of that nature. They can see now for themselves. I had somebody come in and say, hey, can you do this on My Town with Mike?
Wow.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So are you getting referrals then?
I'm starting to. That one is a little, not as much as the Sunrise with Mike
because
it's only almost once a month.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But you started that again, anybody who's listening to this, but for him to do this and to be sharing what's going on in your local town, I don't care what business you're in, first of all, video is in today's world, video is really where all of you as business owners, what you should be doing. And the thing is start with, and the thing is, okay, now Mike, he's 62. So he's probably like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this. I don't want to do this. Right?
Technologically and follically challenged.
Yeah. And look what he's done with it. So he started with the Sunrise and the following, and he really did it for himself. And then people are like, oh my gosh. And now he's doing it daily and has gotten numerous referrals and business from it. And then My Town with Mike isn't real consistent, but it's, 10 times in a year, maybe once a month, once every 5 weeks or so. And now he's just starting to see that as well. And he also didn't do that for business. So that's branding his town pretty much.
And I get other people who just like the entertainment value as well.
Yeah.
The My Town with we did we did July 4th. Last year, Joey and I went down. We were going to do a drone of the sandcastle competition.
Yeah.
It was too windy, so we did a handheld.
Wait, yeah, you did it this year.
And I did it this year as well.
I saw it.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Thank you.
I thought that was excellent because I've always wanted to go down there. It's way too crowded.
Yep.
I will not go into personally. I'm done. I've been to too many crowds. So really, I loved that you did that. I don't remember where I was. Oh, you know what? I was in, I was like in the Bahamas or something.
Were you?
And I'm watching you
Yep.
because I love that every year. And I thought it was so awesome that you went to each and every single one of the people. And I thought, oh my gosh, I got to see it and I didn't even have to be in that crowd. That was awesome.
It was nice.
Yeah.
We had one night where it was raining, just crazy rain all day, and we were wondering if anybody was going to go out to the Strip at night, down to the Ave.
Yeah.
And it cleared up, and I started just going down and showing them, hey guys, everything's open. I don't know if anybody's gone or knows the Colony Hotel.
Yep.
But old, it's established, it's a landmark, I guess. But every single Saturday night, Eric Hansen is a classical guitarist.
Wow.
And he plays on the outside porch. I did a whole My Town with Mike with Eric Hansen one night.
Wow,
and
that's
we
really
must have
cool.
listened to him for 15, 20 minutes.
That's really
And
cool.
it was just great. It was a little different. And that's something that's nice to share.
Right.
We've met a lot of nice people from there. I did. They had Beatles by the Beach, a big thing a couple of months ago, where they had 150 bands.
Wow.
In Delray, playing everywhere Beatle music.
That's very
The
cool.
night before the kickoff, they had a big festival by Pineapple Grove.
Yep.
And I did a video there. The couple I met on the beach in the morning from Ohio were there. And they're on, oh, hey, Mike, thank you so much for telling us about this. We had no idea. If we come down, we're definitely buying with you. I said, terrific, great. Hope you're having a fantastic time. Saw a few other people that said hello. I couldn't have written it any better. How awesome. They came down 2 weeks ago and met me at Sunrise.
That's awesome.
And we're working with them to find a place.
That's incredible.
And it's like unbelievable. The other day, this gentleman, Larry from Connecticut, I met Laura, Logan, his wife and son, at the beach, and they live in Connecticut. He came down, surprised me. I had him on the show for a minute. Later on that day, you wouldn't believe, he sends me a message that I just got a message from Facebook that 1 year ago you met Michael. So it was exactly the
That is
1 year
so
anniversary. So it's just,
it's really awesome what you've done. And, to the listeners here, if you're looking at no matter if you're in real estate or whatever, don't think you're ever too old, right? Middle age to get into doing something like this.
the interesting thing is I went to the R4 convention.
Yeah.
And I went to this video.
Which is a RE/MAX convention.
A RE/MAX convention, people from all over the world. And I listened to Michael Thorne and Jesse Peters.
Yeah.
And they were introducing me to the video. And of course, Sue Pinky Benson was always saying, do it, do it, do it. And during that time period, I got past my fear. And I love fear because I have two acronyms for that: false evidence appearing real, or face everything and rise.
Yeah.
And the key that they said, because we all think in video, and I'm sure anyone that's listening, you've probably thought, oh, but what if I make a mistake? What if I do this? What if that? There is no what if. It's you.
That's right.
Just get in front of it and be you. I don't, my videos, I don't edit.
Yeah. They're live.
They're live, yeah, exactly. There you go. I knew there was a reason I didn't edit.
No, I mean, you can't.
But it's true.
They're live,
Yeah.
so you can't edit it. But just, if you're thinking about video, first of all, no matter what business you're in, you need to do video.
Yes.
And if you're thinking about video and you don't like the way you look or the way you talk and you're worried about your voice or whatever, just do it, right?
Absolutely. You can always adjust. You know what? I've had some of my viewers say, hey, we can't hear you. The wind's too much. And I turn.
Right.
Oh, hey, thank you. And another time I'll come out and I'll just engage them right away. Hey, it's not 2 miles an hour wind today. It's 9.
I know
Let me know if you can hear me. Today,
Yeah.
it was a little loud, and I went from the pavilion. Yeah. I knew I couldn't do it out on the beach.
And you weren't tech savvy, right?
Me? Stop.
So they don't have to worry about being tech savvy.
Absolutely not. If you can figure out how to press on your camera to go live, on Facebook, it's just you go where you would post your regular message and add more. And there's your thing. Press this button, go live and talk. To film and talk. And or if you want to, practice it. Gabby in Australia, I actually met her one of the girls from her office, who they just celebrated her 11th year with that office, the pink team.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, Tracy's, and her dog Tiffany is actually a real estate star in Australia. I'm not joking.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
But Tracy and Tiffany were following me for a long time, and Tracy introduced me to Gabby at the last RE/MAX convention, R4. And when she went home, she did her very first video and gave me a shout out.
Oh, wow.
She's go, I met Michael here, and I know I have to do this, so I'm dedicating this first one to Michael. And it's like, my gosh.
Well, especially when you think there and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even, I'm not even techie and I didn't do video, and now somebody's giving you a shout out. So you're influencing other people from doing that. Well, I just want to, first of all, being in the business together, and you're an awesome person. So anybody who's, first of all, listening to this, follow Mike. I mean, follow his Sunrise with Mike. Follow Mike on the Town, and those are both through your
Facebook,
your Facebook page there. But they can follow. All they got to do is put in the search bar, My Town with Mike.
Probably. I haven't searched for that one. I know if you go Sunrise with Mike, you'll definitely come up with that.
And if not, Michael Glickman, and you can go on. Obviously, they're public, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you can follow him and just do it yourself. So whoever's listening to it, if you are a buyer or seller, really picking agents that you can relate to, and also picking agents that think outside the box, because in today's market, over 95% of the buyers actually look, on the internet, before buying a home. So you want people that are marketing that way as well. If you are a buyer, you want to find the relationship that you can relate to the agent that you're working with. So, and if you're an agent, go out there and do it. Or if you're another business owner, just go out there and be different, right?
I think everything is going to be video in the next year or so.
That's right.
It's easy enough to do. And anytime somebody can get to see, it's funny. Years ago, they used to have those phones that you could flip up and see the other person.
Flip phones.
No. These were ones for the desk. We used to actually, this is how far back I
don't even remember that.
You would mail them to your client with a box with the return postage.
Oh, I don't remember.
And they would put their phone up, and you could actually have a video conference.
Really?
Yeah, this is like when the cell phones were 9 pounds. So, but that's so much, and that did a great job for business, because people could see. Everybody can't hop on a plane. Everybody can't get somewhere. This is a different age. Listen, I did a inspection through Skype with a client from the Czech Republic.
Yeah, that's awesome. We've done that before too.
So, video's here to stay.
That's
and
right.
if you want to really establish that relationship, everything's relationships. And if people can get to see the real you
and feel it.
feel it, man, there's nothing better.
That's right.
I'm telling you.
Don't worry about your age or how tech savvy you are or anything else, because, I'm in my 50s and, Mike's in his 60s, but I'm just saying, if we can do it, don't worry about it. And it's not all about, oh my gosh, look, for me, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't like the way I look. And, or if it's not that you don't want your voice, or if it's that you're, whatever the situation is, people don't look at that. You know what they look at? They look at you and listen. They look at what you're saying and they relate to that. So don't criticize yourself on that. And anyways, for everybody here today, I just want to thank you for joining us for another episode, and everybody have an awesome day. Thanks, Mike, for joining me.
Oh, thank you, Kristin. I truly appreciate the invitation. This has been outstanding.
Oh, and same. It was awesome having you. Bye, everybody.